There was a time when Enugu was one of the most respected economic centers in Nigeria. A city built on coal, a city built on industry, a city built on vision. Back then, Enugu represented progress. Factories were active, hotels were booming, tourists came in, investors arrived, jobs existed. But slowly, something happened. Industries died, tourism faded, infrastructure collapsed, and many Enugu biggest projects became silent monuments of abandonment. Some were abandoned for 10 years, some for 15 years, some for decades. Massive structures that once symbolized hope became symbols of decay. But today, a different conversation is happening across Enugu State. Under Governor Peter Mbah, the state government sees it's attempting something bold to revive dormant assets and transform them into engines of economic growth. And unlike political speeches of the past, there are now visible rehabilitation efforts, construction activities, commissioning ceremonies, concession agreements, and public statements backing many of those claims. This documentary explores 10 major abandoned or struggling projects the Enugu State government says it's bringing back to life. And more importantly, we examine whether this project can truly transform Enugu's economy. No industrial revolution can happen without energy. Factories need it, manufacturers depend on it, investors look for it. And this is where Nigergas became important. For years, Nigergas was one of Enugu's forgotten industrial assets. The company had the potential to support industrial gas distribution, manufacturing, welding industries, construction sector, and energy-related businesses across the region. But like many government-linked industrial assets in Nigeria, momentum disappeared, operations weakened, expansion stalled, and the project faded from public conversation. Now suddenly, Nigergas is back in discussion again. Governor Peter Mbah has repeatedly listed Nigergas among the moribund assets his administration intends to revive as part of Enugu's broader economic transformation strategy. And this is significant because when government begins mentioning dormant industries alongside tourism infrastructure and conference facilities, it reveals a bigger strategy, an attempt to rebuild the economic ecosystem itself. The logic is simple. If energy infrastructure improves, industries return. If industries return, jobs increase. If jobs increase, the economy grows, and Enugu appears to be betting heavily on that formula. One of the biggest indicators that a city wants global relevance is the presence of a world-class conference center. Dubai has them, Kigali has them, Cape Town has them, and now Enugu wants one too. For years, the Enugu International Conference Centre remained incomplete and underutilized. It became one of those projects citizens constantly passed by while asking that same question: when will this project finally work? Then came the rehabilitation and completion efforts under the Mbah administration, and in January 2025, President Bola Tinubu officially inaugurated the completed International Conference Centre during his visit to Enugu State. That commissioning changed the conversation completely because suddenly the ICC was no longer a future promise. It became a functioning project. Governor Mbah later described the 5,000-seat ICC as central to Enugu's ambition of becoming the conferencing capital of Africa. And economically, that matters. Conference economies are massive. Hotels benefit, transport operators benefit, restaurants benefit, event planners benefit, tourism grows. A single international conference can inject millions into a local economy, and Enugu wants a piece of that market. There was a time when factories defined economic strength. Cities with strong industries had strong middle classes, and Sunrise Flour Mills was supposed to be part of that industrial future. The facility represented food processing potential, employment opportunities, agro-industrial growth, but eventually the silence came. Machines stopped running, workers disappeared, and another industrial dream faded. Yet, in recent public statements, Governor Peter Mbah has repeatedly listed Sunrise Flour Mills among the moribund assets attracting renewed government attention. That may sound like ordinary political language, but economically, it is important because food processing industries create enormous value chains. Farmers benefit, transporters benefit, packaging companies benefit, retailers benefit. Industrial revival is never just about one building. It is about the ecosystem around it. And if Sunrise Flour Mills eventually becomes fully functional again, it could signal the beginning of a broader manufacturing comeback in Enugu State. Water is one of the most basic indicators of civilization. No modern city survives without reliable water infrastructure. Yet, for years, many residents of Enugu struggled with inconsistent public water supply, and over time, citizens adapted the Nigerian way. Boreholes everywhere, water tankers everywhere, generators powering private pumping systems. But government understands something important. No city truly scales economically without centralized water systems. This is why the rehabilitation and expansion of the Enugu water infrastructure became part of the current administration's development push. The goal is larger than simply providing water. It is about urban modernization because investors look at water infrastructure before establishing industries. Hospitals need it. Hotels depend on it. Factories cannot function without it. A city without water reliability cannot compete globally, and Enugu appear determined to solve that problem. Enugu was born from coal. That is not poetry, that is history. The discovery of coal transformed Enugu into one of Nigeria's earliest industrial cities. The city's very identity came from energy production. That is why Enugu became known as the coal city. But over the decade, coal activity declined, mines became inactive, infrastructure weakened, and Enugu slowly drifted away from its industrial roots. Now conversations around coal energy and energy infrastructure are slowly returning, not necessarily as a return to old systems alone, but as part of a broader conversation around energy independence and industrialization, because every serious economic hub requires power. Without power, factories fail, businesses collapse, investors leave, and Enugu's leadership appears determined to ensure the city never again becomes economically stagnant because of energy limitations. This is perhaps the most symbolic revival project of them all. For decades, Hotel Presidential represented prestige. Built during the era of Dr. Michael Obara, the hotel was once one of Eastern Nigeria's greatest hospitality landmarks, but eventually the building collapsed into neglect. For about 15 years, the hotel reportedly remained abandoned and inactive. Broken walls, silent hallways, a fading symbol of lost glory. Then came rehabilitation. In August 2025, Governor Mbah officially unveiled the reconstructed Hotel Presidential, and this was not just political rhetoric. The hotel physically reopened. Reports confirmed upgraded rooms, conference facilities, modern amenities, and hospitality partnership with Mbah Hospitality. Governor Mbah described the revival as the reopening of Enugu's confidence. That statement was powerful because psychologically, Hotel Presidential had become more than a hotel. It had become a symbol of decline, and its reopening sent a message: Enugu is on the rise again. Healthcare infrastructure changes everything. A city with strong healthcare attracts professionals, it attracts investment, it improves quality of life, and for years, Nigeria has suffered massive medical tourism losses as citizens travel abroad for treatment. The vision behind the Enugu International Hospital was ambitious: to create a world-class medical facility capable of serving not just Enugu, but a wider region. Reviving and upgrading such infrastructure is part of a larger strategy to reposition Enugu as a regional destination for healthcare and business. And globally, medical economies are massive. Hospitals create jobs, training opportunities, research ecosystems, pharmaceutical supply chains, and supporting businesses. So when government invests in healthcare infrastructure, they are often investing in economic growth too. Tourism is one of the most underestimated sectors in Nigeria, yet globally, tourism creates millions of jobs. Hotels, transportations, restaurants, entertainment, local craft, and Enugu possesses one major tourism advantage: natural beauty. Decay Lake Resort sits on one of the most serene environments in the state: beautiful landscape, waterfront scenery, peaceful atmosphere, but for years, their full tourism potential remained underdeveloped. Now, the government's broader tourism ambition, including conference tourism and hospitality infrastructure, have brought renewed attention to destinations like Decay Lake Resort, because government now understands something important. People do not just travel for business anymore, they travel for experiences, and Enugu wants to become one of those destinations. This has made the Enugu State government hand over the Decay Lake Resort to Landmark to manage for a period of 30 years. Long before crude oil dominated Nigeria, palm produce was king. Eastern Nigeria once controlled massive agricultural wealth through palm products. Our UPPL, Enugu United Palm Products Limited, was part of that legacy. But over time, the same story repeated itself: decline, neglect, and dormancy. Yet recently, Governor Mbah publicly listed UPPL among the moribund assets receiving renewed momentum under his administration. That matters, because agriculture remains one of the fastest ways to generate large-scale employment. Palm value chains are enormous: food processing, cosmetics, industrial oils, export opportunities, and with global palm oil demand still significant, reviving palm infrastructure could become economically strategic again. Sometimes, the greatest assets are not factories, they are nature itself. Ngwo Pine Forest, Awum Waterfalls are among the most beautiful natural attractions in southeastern Nigeria. But for years, tourism infrastructure around these sites remained underdeveloped. Limited promotions, limited investment, limited global visibility. Yet, globally, ecotourism is becoming one of the fastest growing tourism sectors. People now travel specifically for forests, waterfalls, nature retreats, hiking experiences, photography, spiritual tourism, and Enugu appears to be positioning these attractions as part of a broader tourism economy, because in the modern world, natural beauty itself can become economic infrastructure. The real story here is bigger than abandoned buildings. This is about economic philosophy. Can Nigerian state successfully revive dead assets instead of endlessly starting new projects? Can abandoned infrastructure become productive again? Can Enugu truly reinvent itself? The signs are becoming difficult to ignore. The ICC has been inaugurated. Hotel Presidential has been reopened after roughly 15 years of abandonment. Nigergas is active and working today. Multiple dormant assets are now publicly tied to economic recovery plans. But the bigger challenge is sustainability, because reviving projects is one thing, maintaining them is another. Nigeria has seen beautiful commissioning ceremonies before. What citizens now want is continuity, functionality, results, jobs, economic impact, and perhaps that is why this moment feels different, because Enugu is no longer merely talking about development. It is attempting to resurrect history itself. And if this project succeeds, the whole city may once again become one of Nigeria's most important economic centers. But if they fail, they risk becoming another chapter in Nigeria's long history of abandoned dreams. Only time will tell. So now the question goes to you. Do you believe Governor Peter Mbah can truly revive this abandoned project? And which of these projects do you think will have the biggest impact on Enugu's future? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Like this video, subscribe for more deep documentaries on development, infrastructure, and the future of southeastern Nigeria. because the battle for the future of Enugu has only begun.